Hey everybody, I'm excited to be introducing our Module 4 film, Alfred Hitchcock's classic Rear Window. I've shown the movie many times before in my film classes, even when I taught it in person, and it's really a great look at the PowerPoint we're going over, Hollywood in transition from 1945 to 1966, because it covers a lot of topics that time, and it also shows Hitchcock at his most creative time in his career and where he made his most innovative films. We talked a little bit about Hitchcock in last week's Module 3, when we were talking about the Hays Code and how he used his 1946 film Notorious to kind of break barriers, because at that time you could only use a 3-second kiss, and he embraced the couple in a longer kiss, or we thought a longer kiss, by having them stop and do some dialogue, block them a certain way to move a certain way, and then kiss again to extend it. And just to share, Hitchcock was a real breakthrough artist that way, and he was really considered one of our greatest directors of the golden age of Hollywood, all the way through the 60s and 70s until his death in 1980. He always pushed buttons. He was a great director of suspense and the macabre, and he always infused his suspense stories with a lot of humor and bite. He's made films such as Psycho, one of the first slasher films, classics like Vertigo, The Birds. Great films. And of course, one of his greatest is 1954's Rear Window. And again, the 50s is his really most innovative time as a filmmaker. Rear Window really works with the time period because it's a suspense story about a character named Jeff, played by the wonderful Jimmy Stewart. And Jeff has been injured. He's a photographer, professional photographer. He's been injured and is now in a wheelchair while he's recovering, and doesn't have a lot to do in his New York City apartment except watch his neighbors. And really, this movie is exploring voyeurism, and we're watching what other people do, whether we should be or not. And what's really great technically is Hitchcock built this really exciting set that looked like an apartment complex in New York. And he gave every other character that the Stewart character, Jeff, is watching their own apartment. So we see a lot of what's going on in this film from Jeff's view. There is one sequence in the movie where Jeff's asleep, and we, the audience, see something that Jeff doesn't see. Look for that. But we see everything from Jeff's view, and it's really a single location setting that turns into a really suspenseful movie. Because what happens in the film is, as he's watching these people, he happens to notice one of his neighbors across the way is arguing with his wife, and then all of a sudden she's no longer there, and he sees this character with some other woman and suspects that he is up to no good and maybe has killed his wife. And he really can't get anybody to believe him at first. He is aided by his girlfriend Lisa, well played by the beautiful and very talented Grace Kelly, and his sarcastic, very humorous nurse Stella, played by the wonderful Thelma Ritter, all of them giving great performances, and they are going to kind of help him discover the mystery. Has this guy really murdered his wife? Is he up to no good? And we, in the audience, Hitchcock takes us in there, are watching him go along with this mystery ride. It's a great film, and it's really reflective of the time, because we've got to keep in mind, in 1954, when this is released, the McCarthyism is at its worth. And McCarthyism was when Senator McCarthy was accusing, along with some other people, many artists, many people in Hollywood, many high-profile people, of being communist, and it turned into a witch hunt. And a lot of people lost their careers and jobs because people were butting their nose in where they shouldn't. And then this theme, of course, of voyeurism and watching people really aligns a lot with the blacklisting period and McCarthyism going on in the mid-50s. So I hope you enjoy Rear Window. I think it's one of the great films of all time. It works really well with this PowerPoint, and I look forward to your discussion.